last night that I wanted you to tell again about. You lived in Iowa, Washington County, Iowa, for a little bit.
That was when I was in high school.
What?
The last year in school,
Mm-hmm.
we had a FFA touring group traveling in Iowa,
Mm-hmm.
and I went with the group. There were several others that went with us. Took a bus, and every man would go to a different farmer. We stayed there all summer and worked in the farm. I drove tractors. That's where I learned to drive a tractor at, because we didn't have no tractors at home. And we learned to put up hay,
Uh-huh.
deal with the horses and the cows. I worked on the farm, did the farm work.
Now, I've been to Washington County, Iowa, and that is
Washington County, Iowa.
completely different than Canton, North Carolina.
Oh yeah, well,
Opposite of it.
it's all flatland.
All flat.
You look, nothing you see.
Yeah.
Nothing there, nothing there.
Where
Corn.
You, yeah, just corn as far as you can see. When you saw that, was your mind like, where am I?
Well, this is gonna be different.
Yeah.
So at that point in your life, had you ever gone that far west?
No.
Well, New Mexico.
Well, yeah, except for that.
But you had never seen like the flatlands before.
Well,
Never
just
seen
in
Midwest.
traveling through to go
Okay.
to New Mexico stuff. It
Okay.
took me 3 days to see the old buses, the old Greyhound buses.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting when I got to Columbus. I bought one of them, and we used it for a church bus.
Yeah.
You don't remember that?
Mm-mm.
Well, you was probably just a little kid. And it was what's called a baby face fishbowl. It's GMC.
Babyface.
I forget, it's 1947 or 50 model. And we put a V8 Buick engine in the thing. Run like everything. We fix it up, we drive it, you know. And I said, well, this is too important to get the kids tired up. So I parked it on the side of the road there where the fence is. You know, the road used to go down by the church at the fence, you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
This guy comes by one of these days and said, you want to sell that bus? I said, yeah, I'll sell it. I said, what you want to buy it for? For the museum in Chicago.
No kidding.
And he bought it for the museum in Chicago. It's still there today.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Did you make a pretty penny on it?
Yeah, I made $4,000 off of it.
That's a pretty good price.
I paid, I think, $600. Yeah.
Oh
Wow.
man.
Yeah, I bought several buses. Every time we come to Florida, I'd buy a new bus and drive it home.
Now, you were saying those Greyhounds would take forever to get to where they were going. Is that what you were saying? To get to Iowa, you took a Greyhound. It took 3 days.
Yeah.
Man.
Them old-fashioned buses didn't go very fast.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But did he say why he went there? Did he mention that?
You said you just mentioned the FFA.
What did you win? You said it was a sweepstakes.
Well, it was, I forget just all the details, but something that I won over a lot of other people.
And the prize?
The prize was to go to Iowa.
And work on a pig farm.
Yeah, trip to Iowa. That was it.
A trip to work.
And what were the people nice? Were they
Oh yeah, they took it. I stayed right there at the farm.
man?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, they had what they call an exchange student.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
heard of that?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Well, I was one of those exchange students. The next year, their students in Iowa came to North Carolina
Wow.
and lived on farms that worked in the snow belt and in the mountains and so forth.
Yeah.
So those exchange students. That's what I got.
Oh, no kidding.
Some of that.
Wow.
Interesting.
That is interesting. I had no idea.
When I was a kid growing up, I was through school. My mom and daddy got me into everything.
Sounds like it.
Yeah,
It sure does.
I got involved in everything.
Why is that? They wanted you out of the house?
No, they wanted to give me experiences so I'd
Yeah.
be prepared for later days.
Did it work?
Oh yeah, sure.
Sounds like it. Yeah.
Wow. I was going to ask you if you had any kind of crazy stories that your parents would have told you growing up as kids, or their parents.
Well,
I just want to hear like the oldest stories that you can come up with, like just stories your parents would have told, just anything from way back when. That would just seem crazy now.
see, my
There's gotta be
grandparents
something, right?
all lived in Kentucky
Okay.
and Ohio.
Your grandparents lived in Ohio?
Hamilton, Ohio. My uncle and we go see
No
them.
kidding. Wow.
But my grandparents was always in Kentucky. My dad and mom grew up in Owsley County, Kentucky. And So we'd see him maybe once a year when we took vacation. The whole family go to Kentucky for a couple of weeks. Dad get to vacation.
Hmm.
And once in a while, one of them would come to see us. I remember this one time that Grandma came because my dad got sick and had to get in the hospital. And she came to stay with us for a while. And matter of fact, I still got her little knife that she gave me. And she always carried a little knife in her pocketbook.
Wow.
Now, when I was a kid, I was always pearl handle. I said, I want that little knife. And she gave me that little knife. I still got it in there.
How did you have room for all of your things all these years? You never got rid of a single thing you ever picked up.
That's why I've got everything around here.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And so Dad was getting ready to take her back to the train station in Asheville. And I said, I want to go. No, you can't go. You got to stay here. Go to school tomorrow because I don't know what time we'll be back. So I got mad at him. So they left without me. So I prayed. I said, Lord, let them have a wreck.
Oh my God.
And of course, I wasn't saved, so God didn't answer my prayer. But you know, they came back 2 or 3 hours later. I looked out the window. The whole side of the car was gone. Tore up. And I go in the kitchen and Mom and Dad was talking about the wreck they had. He's going around this mountain. Another car hit him, tore him up. Dad always carried his sledgehammer with him. He gets out and beats the fender to where he can still drive. He still went on. Well, he takes his car to the mechanic to get it repaired the next day or so. And the guy says, we got a problem. I got to report you to Highway Patrol. Why is that? Last night, so forth, there was a hit and run out on the Asheville Highway. And this one guy almost killed himself. He went down the mountain, went way down, and about killed 2 or 3 of them.
Wow.
That was the guy that hit them?
Yeah. Well, Dad didn't know because he kept driving on.
Oh, wow.
Dad had to stop. He kept driving on. Well, he disappeared down the mountain. And that's where Dan couldn't find him. He didn't know. He thought the guy just kept on driving, you know.
Oh man.
So it was, I don't know all the court details or anything, but Dad had to go explain it to the Highway Patrol and what happened.
Okay.
So they did some searching on it and found out that it was what happened, you know. So
Oh, that scare you half to death?
it scared me because I prayed.
Did you ever tell your dad about that?
No.
Oh my goodness.
No, he would have beat me half to death.
Oh man.
Why'd you pray for that, boy?
So
Oh, my goodness.
your dad's name was Charles.
Yeah.
What was your mom's name?
I'm Junior.
You're Junior. Did they call you Junior?
No,
No.
Charles Edward.
They just call you. Okay. What was your mom's
Especially when he got mad at me.
Full name, right?
Charles Edward, get in here.
I bet you didn't like hearing that.
No.
Never Chucky or Charlie,
No.
but you
My
called
dad's name was Charlie.
Charlie.
I
Charlie.
called him
Okay.
Charlie all the time.
And they called you Chucky.
Charles.
Charles, and you called your boy Chucky.
Yeah.
What were you about to say?
I was gonna ask, what was your mom's name?
Dora.
Dora.
D-O-R-A.
I don't know anything about your mother.
Dora.
What was she like?
I don't know if I've probably got a picture of him somewhere or another. Yeah, I got
yeah?
a picture of him. You want a picture?
Yeah, we'd love one.
Sure. Yeah, I'll put her in there.
Yeah.
Here's a picture of my mom and dad and my brother.
Oh man.
That was
Look at them.
graduation high school.
Man, you and your brother look just alike. Just
I'm
alike.
blonde headed, he's black headed.
I see that. See the darker hair. Look at your bow tie.
Yeah.
Man, it's fancy.
I still got a bunch of bow ties. When I got married, I wore a bow tie.
Wow. Okay, now this looks old. This looks like a fake photo. You know what I mean?
Well, let's see what year that was. That was in 1940. 48 or 49, somewhere around there. Yeah,
Put that in there too. 49. This was 49.
I think it's.
So you're about 18.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, dude, I don't know why. Kind of reminds me of Tom Cruise. The way he looks. Am I crazy?
No.
Am I
You're not.
crazy?
No, it's a smile.
It looks a little bit like Tom Cruise.
Uh-huh.
I keep I'm like, why am I thinking of Top Gun?
Look at that.
Every time
Joseph
I
thinks
look
you
at
look like a movie star.
The greatest
Yeah.
movie star of all time. That's funny. Anything from your grandparents?
No, don't have anything from them.
Did you not get to spend much time with them?
Not a whole lot. We go down about once a year.
Hmm.
That's about all.
Yeah.
Visit with them. They were in the hills of Kentucky, very poor folks.
Hillbillies?
Yeah, my daddy, his daddy, he died of prostate cancer.
Hmm.
Me and my daddy left home and went to his funeral. He was real sick, so we stayed there a couple of days, and the dad said, I got to go back to work. So we got about halfway through Kentucky, and here come the sirens and the highway patrol. Pull us over, stopped. Said, I'm sorry to tell you, your father just died. So we had to turn around and go back to the funeral.
Man.
On your way out?
Yeah, and I was just a kid then. I think maybe 8 or 10, but I can still remember.
Wow.
And see, back in them days, we'd go to Kentucky, it's always dirt roads. All the roads were dirt.
Every one of them?
Yeah. And so when you see a car coming, roll the windows up
Yeah.
Yeah.
to keep that dust from getting in. The dust cleared out, roll them back down, because in the summertime it's hot. Kentucky gets hot. And of course, no air conditioning. The car, it gets hot. And our car was black.
Oh, man.
Solid black. With a white spot on
Well, it's no wonder you're so used to the warm weather over here.
it. Yeah.
It's been warm your whole life.
But living in Chicago and Ohio for all them years got me used to cold weather.
Let's see. We miss anything about childhood?
I was going to ask what the political climate was like when you were a kid. Did you ever pay attention to anything like that? Or did you guys even...
Yeah, I can remember what my dad told me.
Yeah. Was there big... I mean, there had to be big deals going on at
One
the
day
time.
on Sunday
40s?
we had a big storm. And time we got home, the cows were out. Our neighbors comes there, cows are out in my yard. So we go down. The fences all tore down where the cows went right through them. And so Dad took his .22 rifle, and I'm sitting there hipping him. And at this time, my brother's already away in college, so he wasn't there, just me and Dad. And it was time for election for the president. And Dad, you always, as a kid, you always listen to adults. You don't butt in when they're talking.
Well, amen.
Yeah. So Dad was talking about President, I think it was Truman running back in them days. Harry Truman. You know him, heard of him?
Yeah, well, I heard of him.
And Dad just said, son, I want you to remember something. Never forget this. 15 cents in the crack of the fence. I never seen a Democrat that had any sense. And I ain't never forgot that cent.
A poet. Farmer and a poet.
Farmer and poet.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, that holds true today, bro.
Well, I know you were young, but do you remember anything about World War II ending?
No, we used to see airplanes fly over our farm at home.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a dozen or two at a time. Come over
Yeah.
the mountains. See? And they had to get above 6,000 feet because one of them got lower to 6,000 and run into the mountain, crashed right in the mountain.
Man.
And
That's a story.
one of my neighbors trekked up there and brought back one of the props and mounted it on his house, on the wall of his house.
I was just thinking, I bet somebody went up there and took some things.
All the people go there, there ain't nothing left now.
Yeah.
Everything's taken away.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as really knowing what was going on during the war,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't pay close attention to all that kind of stuff because I was just a kid, you know.
Yeah, you never did.
Politics wasn't my forte.
Right. Yeah.
Did your dad seem involved, or was it just whatever you
Well,
heard on the radio?
he's preparing for voting. Voting in America has always been big
Mm-hmm.
because foreign countries don't get to vote,
Right.
especially communist countries, you know. And so it's big for America.
Mm-hmm.
And Dad was a Republican, and so he wasn't wanting Truman to get in. I think Dewey was a Republican that was going to get in. But growing up as a kid, life was very interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
No television, am I right?
No television.
Just radio.
Radio though?
Every Saturday night, we'd get a haircut every 2-3 weeks for a month. And I'd turn the radio on. I had one of the great old big box radios. Turn it into WLAC in Nashville, Tennessee, the Grand Ole Opry.
You listen to the Grand Ole Opry?
Oh, every Saturday night. And my grandma, or my uncle, used to play juice harps. And he gave me 3 of his juice harps. I still got them. And I'd get in there and I'd play my juice harp with the music. And they'd play.
I remember you playing at
Wait a
juice
minute.
harp in church.
That
Yes.
thing?
Yeah.
I never knew what that was. I thought it was a comb.
Yeah, I remember you playing in church as a kid, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it a comb?
No, it's an actual little instrument.
I thought he was playing a comb. I don't know how. I never knew what that was.
It's called a Jew, Jews, harp, Jew harp.
Oh.
Quite interesting. I had 3 of them. The small one I broke it. The medium one I broke it. I still got the big one. It bites your tongue.
Oh my goodness.
You hit it here. If you don't hit it just right, it'll catch your lip.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
It'll work you over.
Man.
Yeah, I used to bring that and play with church.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody liked that, you know.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, I remember back in that time, that area, there was a lot of stuff going on with the TVA, Tennessee
Yeah.
Valley Authority,
Yeah.
working in your area. And did you guys ever have, like, did you ever see the rations they had back then? Like, farmers were given the food rations, gas rations.
Well,
do you remember that at all?
When I was growing up during the war,
Right.
we had gas was rationed,
Yeah, crazy.
food was rationed. Dad got a bunch of tickets
Yeah.
every month,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes I'd ride with him to fill up the tank.
And you have
Well, you could only get 10 gallons because
Yeah.
that's all the tickets you had left. You
Imagine
had,
that now.
it's
you had
crazy.
to make that
Oh, my goodness.
last the whole month, you know,
Yep.
because you only got tickets every month.
Mm-hmm.
And so we took our grain that we had down to the mill, had it ground up. We grew our own garden stuff, so we pretty much was self-sufficient.
Yeah.
We had 8 or 10 apple trees. We always eat a lot of apples, applesauce. We'd can everything out of the garden. We always canned their food, beans, and everything,
Yeah.
corn, and everything.
So you guys grew your own wheat, so you and had it ground. So your mom was making her own bread and whatnot.
Yeah, she'd make
People
some bread.
don't do that anymore, Papaw. No one does
It's a lot
that.
of work.
Yeah.
I used to go to the mill with Dad. Oh boy! You walk in there, and dust. You couldn't see 6 inches in front of your nose,
Ooh.
and then people working in that thing all day long. I mean, it's really bad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But you get a big sack of it, or a couple of them, which your corn you had. Go home and that's what you eat with. That's what you make bread with, and cornbread and that. I guess that's it.
Oh.
Did
We
it,
had cornbread every day.
Every day.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
did it take up like just the majority of your day or the majority of your life just
Just
providing, just preparing,
Chores.
just living.
just living?
Just living. Yeah.
So it was just surviving, really.
Yeah.
So wealth wasn't really
Well,
a thing to.
The only outside entertainment you had was the radio.
Yeah.
That was it.
No movie house.
Now,
No movie had it. Well, we had one downtown, and once in a while, when I got older,
Feature film.
I could sneak in. Dad went to work in the morning. Sometimes I'd sneak and go with him. He'd come home for dinner. I'd go with him and sneak in and watch a Roy Rogers film. Or Gene Autry.
Wow.
that's
Wow.
funny.
Or the Three Stooges. It was a very popular back in the day.
Oh, that's good, Papaw. That's a good story.
Yeah. Well, that's childhood. I'm sure there's all kinds
There's
of other
all
things.
kinds. We can keep going, huh?
Well, yeah, you bring stuff up there once. Oh, yeah, I remember that now. I remember that. Or
No.
this over here.
Another question. As a kid with the radio, do you remember ever listening to like? Did they ever broadcast?
Fibber, McGee, and Molly. You ever heard of that?
No.
Oh, that was a good story.
What was it?
Fibber, McGee, and Molly. Look it up. It's still on the web. And Dick the Old Dell. It's Fibber, McGee, and Molly.
That was like a show.
Yeah, the show. See, everything they did, because there's no TV shows all on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And they broadcast it on the radio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There was 2 or 3 other programs that we'd listen to.
Fibber McGee and Molly. Yeah. A comedy.
Yeah.
Comedy radio. It started in 1935, Papaw.
Well, that's the year I was born.
Oh, man.
Jamie, can you look that up for us?
Yeah, that's what I feel like. Now, did you ever listen to the president talk over the radio?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You ever had the fireside chats?
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Or
a
38,
he's a
45.
little boy then, yeah.
Yeah.
Was the war?
You thought the war, yeah.
World
Because
War
that's what
II.
time it ended. It said 38 45.
Yeah, 45.
What was the next big conflict after World War II?
Korean. We're going to get there.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. Well,
Let's take a break.
Let's take a break, yeah.
Get some
Get
fluids.
And
Yeah.
cool off.
You might look through